So, almost an entire year ago, I actually acquired this model. It's Paragon 3 Sharknose, Pennsylvania, and this here is actually a fantasy scheme. But probably the reason they did the fantasy scheme was most of the models of these that were previously done in HO scale were done by Model Power or Roco, and they always had this paint scheme on them. Not completely correct, but very, very similar to this. So it's probably what inspired them to do this. Plus, I really do think they look awesome in Tuscan and even in O scale. There's been many versions of these done in the Tuscan. I think they look awesome this way. When these initially came out in Paragon 2, I did pick up all the Brunswick Green versions, which are fantastic. Some of the best models that BLI has ever done, out of anything. So I was really, really excited to pick up the Paragon 3 version of these, which is, from most points, completely identical to the Paragon 2 model. It's certainly the exact same tooling. All the parts and pieces are the same. The decoder simply has the Rolling Thunder gimmick in there. That's really the only difference. It's the exact same sound sets. And for a lot of people who complain about the Broadway sounds on these, they are actually dead on. Like, it's a really, really good sound file they have on here, and it sounds identical to really what you find in. Actually, I had bought the Tsunami 2 for these, which I'll get into here in a bit. But, anyways, long story short, I picked these up in February 2021, which is almost a year ago now, and I didn't get them when they originally came out. I had a chance to get some refurbished ones that were up on Broadway, and for whatever reason, I passed them up. But eventually, a deal came through on eBay, and in that listing, they did disclose that the only the A unit is powered, the B is a dummy. In the listing, they did mention that the lights and motor function work, but there was no sound. So I thought, maybe the speaker's blown or something like that. And I got them out of the box when I first bought them and ran them, and just couldn't get the sound to work. So it was obviously the decoder. So I sent back the Paragon 3 decoder to Broadway. They sent me another one back after about 2 to 3 weeks of that going back and forth. Got the new decoder. It actually took me a couple months to actually put it in, probably getting towards last summer. Put that in there, and the lights worked, but it only had sound for about a minute, and then it died. And then eventually even the motor function didn't work anymore. So I was like, you know what? I'm done with Paragon completely. I'm going to put a Tsunami 2 in here. So I went ahead and got the Tsunami 2 decoder that's specific for Baldwin's, the right sound set. And I was just like, I'm just going to hardwire it and do that. Well, I did that, and it actually ended up blowing out the Tsunami 2 decoder. So after 3 decoder failures, I just decided to send these back to Broadway and have them do whatever that they needed to do to them. Also, one of the other little things that was an issue on them when I first got them is they were missing a couple of little MU cables there, which Broadway has gone ahead and fixed all of that for me. So I got an RA for these. I sent them in. They pretty much just asked for a description of the problem, which I hand wrote everything that was going on there with them. So when I called down there to Florida, where Broadway Limited's at, I got my RA. They said we're about 6 to 8 weeks backed up right now, which, to be honest, in November is not too bad because that's kind of peak season for trains. So I was, expecting something actually a lot longer than that. So I just got these back the other day. I went through their out of warranty service, which is a $99 fee, and pretty much they refurbish them and fix everything that needs to be fixed to get them back to factory spec. So I haven't run them yet. I did, just kind of get them out of the box here, and, all of my original packaging that I sent is all still present in the box. My box is in the same condition that I sent it. All of the details on the engines appear to be on there and precise, as well as, like I said, they did reconnect all the missing hoses that were bad when I originally bought the model. So we're going to put it on the track here and see how it does. Oh boy, they really do look fantastic here on the track. And one other thing that I always like about Broadway models, that, you know, regardless of which one you buy, you know, even down to the very cheapest thing that they make, they always have metal couplers on there. So take note, hint, hint, Athearn. So we'll go ahead and fire them up here, and if these are anything like my, which I've actually never heard the sound on these, so I can't tell you if it really is any different than Paragon 2, because I've never had a unit that actually had working sound. But if these are indeed the same as the Paragon 2, in my opinion, those Paragon 2 models were some of the absolute very best that Broadway's done as far as everything. So we'll go ahead and fire them up here, and these were pretty loud. We'll hit the headlight here. And I always liked that they had marker lights on here, lighted number boards, headlight. Well, getting some noise from another model, so I'll pull that one off. And that's the accurate horn for these, the A200. It's kind of a little bit blah, but it's what they have. And it even kind of quills it a little bit, which I think is really neat. But we'll see if the things actually run here. Speed step 1, I've made no CV adjustments whatsoever. One thing I am seeing is there's a little bit of red light bleed through here from the rear functional markers. When I took this apart initially, there was a lot of electrical tape back there, which I'm guessing I'll probably need to take it apart again and fix that. Really, really simple. And they sound fantastic. Pretty cool. We'll mute the sound there for a second and see how loud the motor is. Typical hum out of a Broadway. Not that bad though. Well, this is certainly a lot longer than they lived the last time I got these out of the box. So I would say these look like they're fixed. One other thing I am kind of curious about is whether these do really have load-based notching, so we'll go ahead and test that out here. Kind of hard to tell. Something else pretty cool here as I was getting ready to pull it off the track is normally Paragon 3 did not have Keep Alive on it, or what Broadway calls their Go Pack, but it seems like something that they did upgrade here. So looks like they put an updated decoder in there. And while we're here, we might as well use our new sound test here to see how loud these are, which I'm pretty sure, given our very small sample size, these will be a new record holder. So as you can see, that actually is a new record holder there. Our engine the other day for our very first test here hit 79.9. This is at 81.6. I don't know if this is actually up to its full max volume that it's capable of. We'll go ahead and see if it is. So I did go ahead and pump it up to max volume here, and it still seems to be pretty clear. All right, so I mean, our sample size is pretty small, but I feel like that's going to be a pretty hefty mark for a lot of engines to beat moving forward. 84.6 dB, and it was clear. So you know, no reason to knock any points off there or scale back the volume a little bit. 84.6 is going to be a tough number to beat for a lot of locomotives moving forward. And you know, I can tell you here in person, when that horn goes off, it is just ear-piercing loud. All right, so we've pretty much taken a look at everything. I mean, it's working better than ever, even working better than brand new. So this was the little checklist that I had here from Broadway, and good job, Caleb. This thing is awesome. So I think it's important a lot of times in the industry, as much as we tend to bash manufacturers for when they do things wrong, we also need to give them a little bit of a pat on the back when they do things right. And I'm a happy customer here. Everything that I wanted taken care of is taken care of. These engines are awesome. I wish that I had this good of experience with other manufacturers moving forward. So just wanted to share this with you, and you know, if you are having issues with your locomotive, you can get them serviced. So it's not something that you have to just complain about it endlessly online. There are ways of getting these things fixed. And Broadway, fortunately, is a company that's able to at least take some ownership of that and get their models fixed. So that's about it for this one. So there'll be some other videos coming up here shortly.